Hello YouTube, my name is Alston and I am doing a May 2019 Income School Project 24 update. How are my sites doing? In this video, I am going to take a look at my two sites. My first site was started September 7th of 2018. My second site was started in October 24th or 25th of 2018. My first site, I had 35 blog posts written in 45 days. Took about a week off, and then I started my second site. My second site took me a little bit longer to create. I started, like I said, October 24th, 25th, and I completed those first 30 blog posts the first week of January. I don't remember the exact days, but I know that I was relieved to have those done. So let's talk about since then. Since then, I have, I would say, probably about 97 blog posts in total on my first site. The method or the process with that was I created the first 35 and 45 days, took some time off, and I didn't start writing again until mid to late January on that first site. Since then, I have added whatever 97 minus 35, so we're looking at about 62 blog posts since then. The most recent one was added this afternoon before or after I've created this video, meaning I haven't added it yet. The other site is in progress. I have probably about 40 to 45 blog posts on the second site. So we're going to take a quick look at those two sites, how they're doing, how they're progressing, my thoughts, my opinions, things that are going well, things that aren't going well. In another video that I'm actually going to record later today, I'll do a complete 9-month update. And on that update, I think I'm going to include 4 sites or 3 sites. I'm not sure. I think I've started with the 3 sites. Maybe I'll add my 4th one. But let's get started. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if this video or any other video on this channel has helped you in any way. One thing before we get started, I want to highlight a product I just purchased, and this is going to sound like an advertisement, but it's not. I just purchased a NAS. It's a network storage device. The cool thing about the NAS is it's a network device, so you're basically saving stuff to your network or to a network. And the cool thing is if you have multiple computers, so like if you have a desktop and a laptop, you can put things in the NAS device and start them up on your other device. You can access it remotely. You can access it with your phone. So that's pretty cool. Again, that's not an advertisement as much as it makes my workflow a little bit easier while I'm sitting downstairs. I can kind of do things like take screenshots and then put them in my device and then go back and sit down at my desktop and now you're looking at them. So that I'm going to put an affiliate link, but I didn't mean that to be an affiliate advertisement or advertisement. It's just a pretty cool thing that helped me be more efficient with my time. Anyway, so let's take a look at site number 1. I have 595 page views, 532 unique views, about 2 minutes on page, a little over 2 minutes, bounce rate of 88.28%, and an exit percent of 73.11%. If we take a look, all right, so this is where a bulk of my traffic comes from, and maybe hopefully you can see that. I have 120 direct. I have 67 from Bing, Facebook, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Quora, YouTube, Google, my website. I'm Alston Godbolt. And then Facebook again. So Facebook mobile and then probably Facebook desktop. So that's where my traffic comes from. Unfortunately, I haven't cracked the Google code yet. But the good news, I would say that the organic, while it's only 9, probably about twice a week, is up from what it used to be. But so yeah, that's kind of it. What I've done and what I've mentioned multiple times, I use a plugin called Blog to Social. And the cool thing about Blog to Social, is that you can hook it up with any of your blog sites and it automatically spits out content. Like I probably have like, I don't want to exaggerate, but I probably have like 300 posts on Instagram, and I've been on Instagram like 10 minutes over the last month and a half. So the cool thing with the blog to social is not only will it automatically spit out or send out your posts, but you can also set it up or configure it to resubmit posts or tweets for 52 weeks. So that kind of helps me. I have a bunch of followers on Instagram and I'm not on there at all, which is kind of cool, I guess. So that's one way that helps me out. There was a question on Quora about blog posts and putting them on social media. It works for me. It may not work for you. It varies. But I would say a big catalyst to some of the success on there is sending it out to blog to social via blog to social. Bing's cool, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Quora. I haven't answered as many questions recently, but I used to answer probably 2 or 3 questions a day on Quora and then I would put my website name in my name, and then I would also conclude every Quora post with my web address to the main site. So that could actually contribute to the number of direct, maybe not. But yeah, so that's interesting. YouTube, I probably get, what is 18 divided by 4 is almost 5 a week from YouTube, which is pretty cool. I'm up to about 25 YouTube videos now. And so one of the things that I'm realizing, or I've realized earlier, is my competitive advantage is probably through YouTube. As I mentioned in my last video, my mid-May update, I'm getting hammered on my first 30 posts because essentially there's this one website that has answered every single question and they have a high domain authority and their blog posts are long. I didn't do a great job of keyword research in the beginning. Since then, I've done a little bit better. But they don't do any YouTube videos. So if I came back and I did 100 YouTube videos on every blog post, that probably could be my competitive advantage. Right now I'm releasing about 2 a week. Also, if you've noticed, if you just page through this channel, I've created a new YouTube video every day for the month of May, and I plan to continue to do every new video every June as well. So right now, I think my game plan is to go hard on YouTube or go all in on YouTube with hopes of finding some success and some traction. But yeah, so Google, 9, my website, people have been navigating through my website, 3, and then Facebook. So let's take a look at, so this is a nice little pie chart. As you can see, the good thing, I guess, is organic is almost 40% of all of my channels or traffic, followed by direct and then social, and then finally referral. That little sliver is probably YouTube. Here is a better breakdown or a different way to look at the results. Organic search, 155 users. Direct, 120. Social, 114. Referral is 5. Did we just look at that one? All right, so one interesting thing that I don't think it's talked about enough is understanding where your users or your visitors are coming from. This can be important because these users or visitors will have different motivations. Some are looking for buying, some may be looking for just information. One thing that I would probably say is, while United States still remains number 1, followed by United Kingdom, some of the other locations or countries are probably not as interested in buying, or they might be looking for cheaper alternatives to some of the things that I'm recommending. But that's something to concentrate on and think about as well, is where your customers are located. If you look, India, for example, they are third most for pages that they navigate. So that's something to consider as well. But yeah, that's just a different look at my traffic sources. getting an idea of where they're coming from. And in fact, on my second site, which I'll show you, India, I believe, is actually number 2 or 3 on that site as well. So that's interesting. And that actually probably has more to do with Quora, because from what I found, a lot of people from outside of the U.S. utilize Quora to send and receive information. So that could be playing a part of it. But the more data that you have, the better that you can get an idea of what your strengths and weaknesses are. And that's something that I could probably take advantage of a little bit more, or should take advantage of a little bit more. Also, too, as I mentioned, my competitive advantage is probably going through YouTube. I'm also doing fairly well with social media, so I could probably ramp that up a little bit more as well. What are some my other competitive advantages? I would say that's really it. The ability to go back and dig deep. My second, when I revisited the site, I kind of had an inkling that things were going to take a little bit longer. So I kind of took a step back, and I even niched down a little bit further. I do have a blog post, or excuse me, I do have a YouTube video on the channel about niching down. But yeah, so the second grouping, I niched down a little bit more, and those videos are actually consistently finding success in traffic. In fact, I would say probably 75% of the videos that are, or YouTube or blog posts that are showing up in this 595 are from me niching down and going further, going below the competition even more. So that's something to consider as well, is if you're not finding success, and I plan on keeping on this blog until I find some success, is to go back, take an honest look, niche down, maybe have someone else take a look at your blog posts and brainstorm of a way to maybe find or get some traction. But yeah, so one thing that I plan to do for this month of June coming up, today is June 1st, I believe, go back and add affiliate links to the sites that, or the pages that are getting the page views. So what I did at the end of last month is I went and looked over the life of the blog at the sites that are getting the most page views, and I added affiliate links there. Now I'm going to take a look at the last 2 months or 3 months to see which sites are getting which blog posts are getting the most views, and I'm going to add affiliate links there. It is kind of a tedious process because you want to add it where it makes sense, but that's something that's probably going to only help my opportunities for conversions and making sales. Unfortunately, I have not made a sale since my initial pizza day from maybe 2 or 3 months ago. So that's unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. My plan for this site is to keep going forward. I believe in keep working until you find success, and then once you find success, you work even harder. And so, quite honestly, that's why I'm working with these YouTube videos, because I found some success there. So yeah, so that's site number 1. Now let's take a look at site number 2. And one thing that I've mentioned in other YouTube videos is that this niche or this niche site is actually, as currently constructed, relatively small as compared to this next one I'm going to bring up and other niches that are out there. I would say in general, so if you were building a house and the house is the top level of the niche, this is probably like the 3rd bedroom. So it's important, it's relevant, but it's not something that you would consider. You have the foundation, you have the roof, those are all very important things. The master bedroom, the master bathroom, all of those things. This is probably like that third room where you'd put your in-laws. You need to have it. There will be problems if you don't have it, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at my second site. The site's much larger. The niche itself is much larger. This niche, I would say, how can I put this? This niche is one of the more important rooms in your house. if I were to continue that analogy. What am I looking at here? So this site was created October 24th. I wound up getting the 30 blog posts up, my 30th blog post up the first week of January. So 115 page views, 112 unique, 39 seconds on page, bounce rate of 95%, and an exit percent of 87.83. So this is the breakdown of where my traffic is coming from. Again, 45% is organic search. Next is social, then direct, and then referral. With this one, I actually probably have about 10 YouTube videos on this one, on this site as well. The reason why I mention the YouTube videos is Income School Project 24, they recommend that you promote your site in addition to the blog post using YouTube videos and Pinterest. As I mentioned in other blog posts, or as I've mentioned in other YouTube videos, I was not interested in this site remotely, and so it was difficult to continue on getting to the 30 posts. So I haven't done the Pinterest at all. I haven't done Pinterest at all. I haven't done YouTube really at all for this site. My goal is to still get up to, I believe, 100 blog posts, because I don't think that you can in reality call a website a success or a failure when you just stop at 30. You've got to get up to 100 to compete for very small keywords and keywords of all sizes. So my goal is to get this one up to 100. I'm actually not doing any of the writing for this site anymore. I have outsourced that out. And so that's the other thing. I'm concerned that my writing style isn't resonating with the people, with the masses. So I'm actually hiring that out through a content mill to see if maybe that will work a little bit better. Anyway, let's see. So 43 organic search, and remember, this one only has about 40 blog posts total. Social 36, direct 14, and referral is 2. So here is the breakdown. I actually have 34 from Google, 33 from Facebook, direct 14, Bing 5, my website 2, DuckDuckGo 2, Facebook 2, Yahoo. So the interesting thing is it is finding some traction on Google, or with Google. I think that is due in part to this niche being much, much bigger. This niche itself is probably, I want to say, 5 times the size of the other one. This product service niche is basically a requirement in every person's home. So it's pretty big, and I think that's why it's getting the success that it is. Like I said, I've hired out the writing. Let's see. And then, as you can see, my traffic source is United States, followed by India, then Canada, Australia, UK, Ireland, China, Singapore, Botswana, and the Great Hong Kong. So this is kind of interesting, getting some traction from India. It's something to consider when you're looking or factoring in your sales with Amazon or other affiliate networks. If you're concerned why your sales aren't as high as they could be, you might want to look at where your location is coming from. Now that I know that a portion is coming from India, I might want to do Amazon One Link to link with India, Amazon India, or possibly find an affiliate site that works with India that's well known in the area. So those are all things that I should think about or could think about. The goal is definitely to get this site up to 100 blog posts with different products and services, and then just kind of go from there and see what it is. So the game plan for the month of June is to keep cultivating this site. I am going to let my first site sit for a little while and see how that goes. As I mentioned, I am going to go back and add affiliate links to Amazon. Amazon is the affiliate network that I use. I'm going to create links for that and send them out using the 10 most popular web pages or blog posts from the last 2 months. Hopefully that'll boost my sales a little bit, or my commissions. Also, I should probably, or could probably, take a closer look at my numbers and figure out where I'm falling apart. The interesting thing, or the cool thing about blogs is in general is, if you know your numbers, or if you understand your numbers, you can figure out where you're failing. If you're getting a lot of people visiting your site, but you're not getting Amazon or affiliate clicks, that means you are not building enough value. You've not created a situation in which you've created so much value where they feel compelled to click on the link. You can convince yourself that you are, but if they're not clicking on the link, you haven't created enough value, and that's either you don't have enough links throughout your blog post, or you've not generated enough value. That's pretty much where it comes from. So you need to do a better job I need to do a better job of adding value. I would say my last 60 blog posts don't have any affiliate links or any redirects to my product recommendations page. But those are all little things that I could possibly change. The newer blog posts are still relatively young. Not really in the position to be overly concerned just yet. The other thing too is the prime buying season for my first site is October, November, December. They're usually gifts, or when something happens. I'm sure you could figure out from that. So there are, like as I was mentioning before I went off on the tangent of a tangent, the numbers will tell you. Numbers will tell you everything that you need to know. If people aren't selecting your blog post, that means your headline or your title isn't compelling enough. If people are clicking your blog post but not going to your affiliate links, that means you're not generating or building enough value. Or it could be that you've got just window shoppers, but in most cases it's probably going to be the value aspect. You've not built up enough value over the life of the blog post. If you disagree, feel free to comment below. It is a challenge. I know that's kind of aggressive for what some people have a difficult time taking a hard look and an honest look at what they've done. I'm sure you're thinking right now, well, I have built enough value on my website, but if you're not getting the sales, if your conversions are, I would say, probably less than 3%, depending on the price of the product, you're probably not building enough value. So it is what it is. That is my May update. I am going to go back to doing the updates weekly to see where we are, see how I progress. Later on today, I am going to create a new video for my progress on 3 or 4 sites for when I started Project 24 on September 7th. So to get started with Project 24, to check it out, take a look, click the link in the description. It'll take you to Project 24. It is an affiliate link, but you'll actually get an idea of what Project 24 is. You'll fill in a lot of gaps that I've left or created. It will explain how you can replace your full-time income in 24 months with blogging and affiliate marketing. So once again, this is Alston, and thanks for watching. We will see you soon.